In those days, in the days when heaven and earth were created. In those nights, in the nights when heaven and earth were created. In those years, in the years when the fates were determined. When the Anunnaki gods were born, when the goddesses were taken in marriage, when the goddesses were distributed in heaven and earth, when the goddesses became pregnant and gave birth, when the gods were obliged with their food, dining halls. The senior gods oversaw the work, while the minor gods were bearing the toil. The gods were digging the canals and piling up silt in the halali. The gods, crushing the clay, began complaining about this life. At that time, the one of great wisdom, the creator of all the senior gods, Enki, lay on his bed. Not waking up from his sleep, in the deep hunger, in the subterranean water, the place inside of which no other god knows. The gods said, weeping, "He is the cause of the lamenting." Nama, the primeval mother who gave birth to the senior gods, took the tears of the gods to the one who lay sleeping, to the one who did not wake up from his bed, to her son. "Are you really lying there asleep and not awake? The gods, your creatures, are smashing there. My son, wake up from your bed. Please apply the skill deriving from your wisdom and create a substitute for the gods so that they can be freed from their toil." At the word of his mother Nama, Enki rose up from his bed. In Halankuk, his room for pondering, he slapped his thigh in annoyance. The wise and intelligent one, the prudent, of skills, the fashioner of the design of everything brought to life, earth goddesses. Enki reached out his arm over them and turned his attention to them. And after Enki, the fashioner of designs by himself, had pondered the matter, he said to his mother Nama, "My mother, the creature you planned will really come into existence. Impose on him the work of carrying baskets. You should knead clay from the top of the Abzu. The birth goddesses will nip off the clay, and you shall bring the form into existence. Let Ninmah act as your assistant. Let Nimina, Suziana, Nimada, Nimbarat, Nimmok, and Nugunga stand by you as you give birth." "My mother, after you have decreed his fate, let Nimna impose on him the work of carrying baskets." She placed it on the grass and purified the birth. Enki brought joy to their heart. He set a feast for his mother Nama and for Ninmah. All the princely birth goddesses ate delicate reed and bread. An, Enlil, and Lord Nudamun roasted holy kids. All the senior gods praised him. "O Lord of wide understanding, who is as wise as you? Enki, the great Lord, who can equal your actions? Like a corporal father, you are the one who has the me of deciding destinies. In fact, you are the me." Enki and Ninmah drank beer. Their hearts became elated, and the Ninmah said to Enki, "Man's body can be neither good nor bad, and whether I make a fate good or bad depends on my will." Enki answered Ninmah, "I will counterbalance whatever fate, good or bad, you happen to decide." Ninmah took clay from the top of the Abzu in her hand, and she fashioned from it a man who could not bend his outstretched weak hands. Enki looked at the man who cannot bend his outstretched weak hands, and decreed his fate. Second, she fashioned one who turned back the light, a man with constantly opened eyes. Enki looked at the who turned back the light, the man with constantly opened eyes, and decreed his fate, allotting it to the musical arts, making him as the chief in the king's presence. Third, she fashioned one with both feet broken, one with paralyzed feet. Enki looked at the one with both feet broken, the one with paralyzed feet, and him for the work of, and the silversmith. And she fashioned one, a third one, born as an idiot. Enki looked at this one, the one born as an idiot, and decreed his fate. He appointed him as a servant of the king. Fourth, she fashioned one who could not hold back his urine. Enki looked at the one who could not hold back his urine and bathed him in enchanted water and drove out the Namtar demon from his body. Fifth, she fashioned a woman who could not give birth. Enki looked at the woman who could not give birth and decreed her fate. He made her belong to the queen's household as a weaver. Sixth, she fashioned one with neither penis nor vagina on its body. Enki looked at the one with neither penis nor vagina on its body and gave it the name Nibru Eunuch, and decreed as its fate to stand before the king. Ninmah threw the pinched-off clay from her hand on the ground, and a great silence fell. Enki threw all the clay to the ground and was greatly. The great Lord Enki said to Ninmah, I have decreed the fates of your creatures and given them their daily bread. Come, now I will fashion somebody for you, and you must decree the fate of the newborn one. Enki devised a shape with head and mouth in the middle, and said to Ninmah, pour ejaculated semen into a woman's womb, and the woman will give birth to the semen of her womb. Ninmah stood by for the newborn, and the woman brought forth in the midst. In return, this was Umul. Its head was afflicted, its place of was afflicted, its eyes were afflicted, its neck was afflicted, it could hardly breathe, its ribs were shaky, its lungs were afflicted, its heart was afflicted, its bowels were afflicted. With its hand and its lolling head it could not put bread in its mouth. Its spine and head were dislocated. The weak hips and shaky feet could not carry it on the field. Enki fashioned it this way. Enki said to Ninmah, for your creatures I've decreed a fate. I have given them their daily bread. Now you should decree a fate for my creature. Give him his daily bread too. Ninmah looked at Umul and turned to him. She went nearer to Umul, asked him questions, but he could not speak. She offered him bread to eat, but he could not reach out for it. He could not lie on. He could not. Standing up, he could not sit down. Could not lie down. He could not. A house. He could not eat bread. Ninmah answered Enki, the man you have fashioned is neither alive nor dead. He cannot support himself. Enki answered Ninmah, I decreed a fate for the first man with the weak hands. I gave him bread. I decreed a fate for the man who turned back the light. I gave him bread. I decreed a fate for the man with broken, paralyzed feet. I gave him bread. I decreed a fate for the man who could not hold back his urine. I gave him bread. I decreed a fate for the woman who could not give birth. I gave her bread. I decreed the fate for the one with neither penis nor vagina on its body. I gave it bread. My sister. Ninmah answered Enki, you entered. Look, you do not dwell in heaven. You do not dwell on earth. You do not come out to look at the land. Where you do not dwell, but where my house is built, your words cannot be heard. Where you do not live, but where my city is built, I myself am silenced. My city is ruined. My house is destroyed, my child has been taken captive. I am a fugitive who had to leave the Ikur. Even I myself could not escape from your hand. Enki replied to Ninmah, who would change the words that left your mouth? Remove Umul from your lap. Ninmah, may your work be you. For me what is imperfect, who can oppose this? The man whom I shaped. After you, let him pray. Today let my penis be praised, may your wisdom be confirmed. May the Unkum and the Ninkum proclaim your glory. My sister, the heroic strength, the song, the writing, the gods who heard, let Umul build my house. Ninmah could not rival the great Lord Enki. Father Enki, your praise is sweet.